Hello, good evening and welcome to TTTV. Do not adjust your screens. This is Project Cars 2 on TTTV, a completely brand new league on the game, first time ever for the channel, and it is the Formula C cars, aka Formula 3 cars, default setups as well, so you don't need to be a setup master to enjoy this league as well. And we've got 2 races each night. We're starting with the sprint race, which is a 15-minute race, and it's just basically foot to the go for it, basically. In this one we'll have a 15-minute qualifying session after the first race, which will be to set the grid for the feature race, which will be a 35-minute race with a mandatory pit stop as well. So we've got plenty going on. We are at Oulton Park for the first round. It is the island circuit, 2.26 miles round. It says 7 corners, but trust me, it's more than that. And this is obviously the circuit located in Cheshire in northwest England. Opened in 1953. It's known for being a very characterised track. It's got a lot of gradient changes, got some tricky corners as well. And it's a very popular track. It's very much a driver's circuit as well. You do really need to be on the ball with this one. But this is looking forward to this. This has been a good couple of months in the making, this league. And this is round number 1. We've got 2 races, as I say. We're straight into the first race of the evening. It's a completely randomised grid for race number 1. So it's straight into the action. No hanging about here. We're just waiting on all the drivers readying up for the green light. And we're about to get straight underway right into this evening's action in just a moment's time. Just waiting on the drivers readying up to the grid. Now, if you do want to get involved in this next week, give us a shout on Twitter, Andy81287, and you can be here next week being commentated on for the next round of the championship. Round 1 about to get underway, as I say, in just a moment. We're awaiting the drivers readying up. Random grid for the first race, and you can see that there's 10 cars on the grid here at the moment. Not far off your full grid, only 6 more needed for that. We're expecting a few more to join on into the later rounds as well. While we're waiting, we'll run you through. We've got Sean, Gero, Maze, who you'll know from this channel, along with Larynx, Plaster as well, someone we'll all know, Ben Phelan, Jazz, Alan K, Maximus, and McKinda for you, which I'll just stick with McKinda. One to watch out for will be Gero, who in the practice lobby was proven to be extremely fast earlier on as well, so it'll be one to keep an eye on for the race moving forward. Shouldn't be too far off the start. This is the joys of live streaming. Things can always go wrong. It looks like we've actually lost Maze already. I did see a message saying his wheels disconnected, so I think that's what was maybe causing the problems. Here we go, the time resets, the lobby resets, the cars are now onto the grid, and we are ready for round number 1. The engine revs rise. Round number 1 is underway, and it looks like it's a good start from Sean in pole position as Gero takes over second, and it's Plaster who drops into third from Larynx in 4th place. They're going side by side through turn 1, through Old Hill Corner. We'll take a fast lap later on in qualifying. We've already dropped another person out, unfortunately. Coming down the hill for the first time, we've got a car sideways. Sideways, it's Plaster who's off the track. He's into the barrier. We've got wings everywhere, and we've got cars all over the place. One missing a rear wing in the background there. Gera's been caught up in it. That is McKinda for you, minus a rear wing, and Maximus there sitting on the track. McKinda for you, just losing control there, but up through the island hairpin for the first time. It looks like we might actually be having a restart. I just heard a shout in the lobby there, and yet we are going to actually restart this. Hey, the joys of a brand new league. Things can happen, and these things usually do go wrong, so just wait for everything to reset itself. Everyone will get back into the lobby as we see people just crashing out for the end of it. So this is the first time we've done this on TTTV. Completely new league and all brand new. Anyone watching, it is a restart. Jazza, restart in the lobby if you can hear me. But yeah, we're just waiting for these guys to pick up in just a moment's time. Hi Steph, nice of you to join us. It's a shame obviously about TTL of course. There's the other invite. TTFL, sorry. But I'll be jumping in to take over the reins from you. In that regard, the screen's going to go blue at a moment and it's been invited to the fresh lobby, and again we'll just be straight back into it in just a moment's time. I guess if we're going to have problems, you might as well get them out of the way first thing. Why not? It's always the way with things like this. There's always a chance. Doesn't matter how many practices you do, it can always go wrong. Dante's Rebellion jumping into the chat as well, giving the old devil horns into that one there. It'll be good to know to be back soon, Steph. I'll keep the commentator seat warm for you on Friday night, buddy. I'm going to be taking on TTFL duties on Friday night on the channel, rather than joining Kieran for TTL F1 on a Thursday. So you'll see me on Friday night moving forward from this Friday coming as well. So that'll be interesting with a brand new season for TTFL. It's going to be very, very fun to commentate on that. So looking forward to that very much. As you can see, drivers just getting invited back into the lobby. Hopefully Maze has been able to get his wheel reconnected up again as well. That'd be helpful. And you can notice as well that quite a few people are new to this game as well. You can see with the license stats, a lot of them are in U's and F's because they've not long picked up this game. And then you've got me who's on like top rating in terms of safety, because I've been playing this game since it came out pretty much. But this is very, and I like this idea of this league, to be honest with you. It's definitely, I just need to send a quick invite if you give me a wee second, sorry. The idea of this league, default setups, all one spec cars with the F3 cars. Something a little bit different, you know. They've got some really, really good stats in them, obviously. There they are right there on the screen. 2 seconds from going 0 to 100 kilometers, 205 horsepower with just 500 kilos. Straight 4 engine, 6-speed sequential. So you can see all the stats there. It makes it very, very quick and very, very good to drive as well. Plenty to get going. So just make sure I'm waiting on one more person. I'm just going to send out the invite again, actually. Help Mr. Alan K out. There we go. So ignore the blue screen. And I don't want to leave the session, don't do that. But yeah, shorter season, that is going to be a good one, Steph. I'm looking forward to that on Fridays. Will be definitely fun. Looks like we are back up to a full squadron worth of drivers. Second time's a charm for this one. I think we're good to go, so we're just waiting on it moving. Yeah, they are very, very good cars, Steph. I do actually enjoy. If I wasn't commentating, I was tempted to jump in and race myself, I must be honest. They are very good cars, and I know a few people were like, oh, another single-seater, you already do single-seaters with Formula 1, but this is a different style of single-seater, remember. It's not as powerful, it's not as much aerodynamics, and we're doing the default setups as well, means it's all down to that driver skill. Yes, I do love the box, you're right, that's where I'm much, much more suited for, especially in F1 stuff, but these cars are very good, and obviously come the end of the season we'll see what people think, and we'll see if they fancy doing another season of this, or this is the joys of Project Cars 2. We can look at changing it. This is what makes Project Cars 2 a great game. There is so much variety to this game, so many different cars, from your single-seaters, your touring cars, your GT cars, your prototypes, road cars, the whole lot. There's so much to it, and so many different tracks, and we've gone with the Formula C for this Season 1. And what we've also done is I've based it around predominantly the British Formula 3 Championship. So you're going to see Oulton Park, you're going to see Snetterton, you're going to see Knockhill, you're going to see Silverstone, you're going to see Brands Hatch, you're also going to see Zolder in Belgium, and you're going to see Hockenheim in Germany as well. Now I know they weren't on the F3, British F3 calendar, it was Spa but I think Spa's a bit too long for these cars, to be honest. So dropped it onto something a little bit different instead. So this will be fun to see. It'd be fun to see Season 2 touring cars or Le Mans, says Steph. Well, we'll wait until we've done this season, we'll pick it up, but that's the joys of this game. There's definitely the scope there. If people have got enough want to try something a bit different, we can do that. We don't need to stick to one series, unless of course it proves to be very, very popular, of course. But there we go, we've got 10 back on track one more time. It's Alan Kay who gets the pole position this time from Kinda You. The lights are on. Laranix has already got himself a start penalty as the green flag goes. Plaster's got himself a great start, jumping out from behind, but it's McKinda You who leads into the first corner from Jazza. Plaster moves into second. Hero has moved into fourth place. We've got a car running wide off the track. That is Ben moving into fifth place. Then it is Ben Phelan. So he's actually dropped down to sixth place now because Sean's moved up into fifth. There's a car running wide in the background as Laranix. It's Alan Kay, the pole sitter on this random grid. He's gone off down at the bottom of the hill through Cascades, but we jump back to the front and Jazza trying to put the pressure up. Kinda use. He's coming out the corner, he's put it in the wall. This is the problem, it's very cold tyre to start with. Got to be very careful, but Jazza's actually now got the lead. We seem to have lost McKinda You somewhere. He's dropped miles down the order. There he is. So he's lost the lead ender. We move up to the Knickerbook chicane, and that is Jazza going wide there as Ben's into second place. He's got battles going on behind that. Plaster. Laranix Mays in there as well. Laranix going wide as Maximus is going to try and come through. Coming up across over the top of the hill through Water Tower and heading up to Druids Bend. That's Laranix going very wide onto the grass there. Oh, a huge crash! Huge crash there from Plaster. He's done a 3-barrel roll there and lost. The car's gone upside down. He's bound to have damage. Trying to keep out the way Alan Kay comes through. It's a massive crash there from Plaster. We've got car wide there. That's Jazza who was in the lead of the race going wide at the final corner, the Lodge corner there. So very interesting start. Obviously cold tyres as well, and there's a lot on this track, but Ben leads into number 1 at Old Hill corner for the second lap of this 15-minute race. Gero is chasing them down in second. This is a man to watch, the Spaniard. He was very quick in the practice lobbies. Jazz is in third. Sean's chasing them down in fifth place. McKinda You is in fifth, coming down into Cascades corner now with Alan Kay in sixth. Laranix in seventh, having done his drive-through penalty, and there's Plaster in pit lane getting his damage repaired there. Not good for the sprint race. Maximus is off at the side of the road and you can see it's ghosted out and he's got no wheels, so I'm guessing that's what happened between Plaster and Maximus. So we're down to 8 there, and that Ben running wide into the Knickerbrook chicane. I'll tell you the story of how that one came about later on as well. But Gero is looking very, very quick as they come up the hill one more time over Clay Hill through Waters Tower into Druids corner. It's a very tricky corner, Druids here. Right-hander, double apex down the third gear. You can see Jarrow keeping it nice and tidy. Ben's gone off, Ben's off the track. He's well off the track. He's lost it big time going through there. You know, there's a lot of places need to be careful rejoining the track. He's done so well there, hopefully no damage. You can see he's running no assists in this race, so that makes it obviously very tricky for him as well, as McKinda You goes through and takes fourth place. And back at the front then, Gero leads and he's got 4 seconds over Jazza, with Sean chasing him down in third. McKinda You in fourth, with Ben now already starting to slipstream his way back past into fourth place into turn number 1 Old Hill corner, and after making that mistake he's got the move, but McKinda You fancies another chance of going back through. Here we go on board with McKinda You coming down to Cascades corner, keeping it tidy there for the meantime. This is battle track. You can see there in the background, that is Alan Kay, who is in 6th place, I believe. Yes, it is. We've got Laranix in 7th and in 8th, having made his pit stop after that 3-barrel, triple-barrel roll that he done, which must have been during a collision with Maximus. We just caught the end of that. We're already 5 minutes into this race almost here. Gero in the lead by 5 seconds from Jazza in second. We then got Sean in third, who's dropped a little bit back from Jazza, with Ben fourth and McKinda You in 5th place. These two are the closest on track really at the moment, and then you've got Alan Kay Larynx and Plaster rounding out the field. Couple of retirements already. May's obviously been having more issues with his wheel possibly disconnecting. Maximus out of the race also as well after that huge incident early doors, so plenty going on during the start of this race. Obviously Larynx as well got a drive-through penalty for jumping the start, as I see kinda you getting sideways coming out of Lodge Corner and over Deer's Leap. Sean is catching back up to the back of Jazza ever so slightly, although he got it a little bit wrong through Old Hill Corner there, as we're on board with this bumper camera. Very low to the ground here, and you can see as we come through Cascades, heading up towards through Lakeside and the Lakeside hairpin, kicking up a little bit of dirt on the way through. You can see Ben is catching up as well, hard on the brakes into the hairpin that separates the full-length circuit, the international circuit, from the island circuit, and then back up the hill over Hilltop towards Hislops and Knickerbrook chicane as well. It's just a fantastic name for a corner, is it not? Think of me one better than that. Come on, seriously. Sean in third. He's got Ben catching up to him though in fourth place, having been in the lead of the race, made a mistake going through Druids at the top of this hill. He's now making his way back through the field. This is the first of two races, so the second race got 35 minutes. It's a longer feature race. This is just the sprint for tonight, and Ben's much quicker through that double apex of Druids. Sean's going to have a battle on his hand here to keep Ben behind him as they come up and over the undulations towards Druids Corner. Ben goes to the inside line, contact there. Sean didn't see him coming, I don't think. He's managed to keep control of it, but Ben is through and back up into third position, and you can see Jazza's not too far ahead of Ben as well. So Ben up into P3, doing pretty well. He's got to support the track from Jack as well. He's supporting Ben, so he's now up to second, because look there, that was Jazza. Jazza was off the track, having come through Old Hill Corner, drops 2 places. That's not good for him. He needs to just calm down a little bit. He's running wide through Cascades, taking half of the advertising boards with him. He may have wing damage, it's hard to tell. We jump back through the field. Here's Alan Kay catching up to Mick Kinda-You. This is for 5th and 6th place. Larynx behind in 7th, and Plaster down in 8th position, having got caught up. Kinda-You, Jazza's off again, but it looks at where is he? He's somewhere in this picture. Where is it? There's Alan Kay. Where is Jazza? He's still not on the track. We'll try and catch him. There he is. So he is back on the track now. So 2 mistakes from Jazza in the space of half a lap. Not good for him. He drops from 2nd place all the way down to 6th as he comes into the chicane. Just needs to calm down a little bit and able to get it going. One of the things you want to do with this car is to be smooth and consistent. It's definitely one thing that you want to be doing with these things. There's Alan Kay in the 33 machine, having got a poor start and off the track at Cascades in the first lap. He's now just keeping it nice and steady and starting to make his way back up through the field as others make mistakes going through. And he's going to be tearing his eye in the chat. I'm guessing that the wheel giving you more problems, my friend. Hopefully no issues when it comes to the second race later on tonight. Of course, we've got qualifying before that as well. Half the race already done. We've only got half the race now to go. 7 minutes left. This man is Jero Kaleja. I'm hoping I pronounced that right. Leads the race by 11.5 seconds. That is Plaster that he is catching up to, who's about to be lapped, having got caught up in that earlier incident. Jero looking very good indeed on the track at the moment. Ben is setting fastest sector times as he goes through though at the moment, and Alan Kay closing back up to McKinley. You can see Alan's running no assists here on this, no ABS, no traction control. None of the drivers are allowed to use stability control. It is banned in the series. It does give you the ability to use some assists. Well, we've got a moment, we will look through them. You see Jero is using some traction control and ABS. Now that might be on a low setting, which to be honest is my preference as well. Ben is running no traction control or ABS at all. Sean in 3rd is running a little bit of both. It kind of used just on the ABS, so he's got to be careful on the throttle. Alan Kay running nothing, and he's dropped off the back of it kind of use, so maybe got a bit sideways through the Knickerbrook chicane. Very easy to do. Jazza's running a bit of both. Larynx running the ABS, and Plaster cutting his way through over Denton's corner down to Cascades. He's running absolutely nothing at all. Jera's lost a bit of time. Ben is really catching up already. He's got that down from 12 seconds nearly down to 9 in the space of me going through everybody and what they're running. So he's really on the move at the moment here. Jump onto the cockpit camera for the second place car. He's coming up over Hilltop, right on board with him for just a moment's time here. Heading down towards Hislops and the Knickerbrook chicane. That car ahead is Plaster, who's a lap down. Very careful through there, easy to catch the grass. This is technically Knickerbrook corner here. Can't get a bit sideways as he goes through and then up the hill over Hilltop through the Water Tower corner, which is just coming up here. Left-hander and then into Druids. Down at 4th gear. Let's prefer that for the traction. Still steps out, shows you how tricky these cars are. Under the Warwick Bridge, I'll come back to that one later on as well. And then into Lodge corner. Very tricky corner to get right. And then obviously you've got the drop down the hill. That's Plaster off the track up ahead. He does see Ben coming through. And then this corner, turn number 1, the Old Hill corner. A very tricky one indeed. You can see the camber on the inside. You just got to be careful on the outside because you can get an invalidation as well doing that. And he comes over Denton's and down the hill to Cascades to continue on to another lap. 4 minutes left in the first race of the first round of the Project Cars TTP Cars FC League here on TTTV. Thank you to you guys that are watching and joining me this evening for this brand new league. You want to get involved? Give me a shout. There's still 1 or 2 spaces. And we can always do it with a reserve or 2 in case of any weeks that someone can't make it. It looks like Gero has managed to just keep things ticking nicely. He's managed to stabilise the gap a little bit at the moment to Ben. It's around about 9 seconds now. So Ben still need to find a bit of time to catch up. Alan Kay still trying to catch up to the back of McKinda-U, but not able to do too much at the moment. So we'll quickly bring the timings up, and you can see there 8 laps in the books. The fastest lap of the race at the moment is Gero on a 1 minute 25.1. Ben's done a 25.7, and anyone else is around about 28 or higher at the moment. So obviously people need to just pick up a little bit as Alan Kay comes through Water Tower. As Ben heads into another lap with just 3 minutes remaining for the first round here. And it's looking good for the Spaniard at the moment. And if he can keep it going for these next 2 minutes 50 seconds, he'll be able to say he was the first winner on this brand new league here on TTTV and TTGaming. Looking pretty good at the moment. Set some blistering times in practice when I was in the lobby with some of these guys earlier on. I think he was in the 1 minute 23s at one point. You can see he's just keeping it very neat and tidy, which is what you need to do with this car. Just keep it neat, keep it tidy, keep it steady. That's what you want in this car, and it will reward you if you do that. Ben is pushing it, but he's still keeping it tidy as well. He's about 8.5 seconds back, so he's not closing in quick enough now. If the Spaniard can keep the car on the road, then he will take the race victory. Sean has dropped off the back, but I'm sure that he won't mind, and he'll be happy to take P3 if he keeps it going to the end of the race. McKinda-U is in 4th position, having a decent race there at the moment, although he's running a bit wide through Knickerbrook there. He needs to be very careful. Alan Kay is not too far off the back of him. They're setting very similar lap times last time by. You can see Ben's actually set a lap time 1.5 seconds quicker last time by than Gero, so maybe it's not over yet. We have 1.5 minutes to go, and it will all depend when does Gero cross the finish line next time round. Will he have to do 1 more lap? It'll be very interesting to see if that's the case. Alan Kay now is getting ever closer to the back of McKinda-U. We'll come back to him in a minute. There is Jazza, who was up in 2nd at one point, now down in 6th place, just trying to bring it home. That is Plaster off in the background there, having made a little bit of a mistake into Lodge corner. And go back underway up through Deer Leap and heading one more time towards Old Hill corner. Larynx is coming through as well. We'll jump back to Alan Kay just now in his pursuit of McKinda-U. Coming up towards Lakeside Hairpin. So is where they rejoin back onto main circuit. I think we all do, Matthew. I think we all do, but I'm not saying that one on the stream. But Alan Kay is pretty close to the back of McKinley and he's going to fancy his chances of taking P4 before the end of this race, so keep an eye on his progress. Quickly jump to Gero. He started another lap, so this is the final lap of the race. He's gone across the line with 20. Oh, car getting a bit sideways. Ben's down to 5 seconds. He'll be quite annoyed at himself as he gets sideways through Old Hill Corner as well. Very, very sideways. A bit annoyed with himself for making those mistakes now, because he's shown that he's got quite a bit of pace. And yet he's going to lose out on the race victory due to some mistakes. You can see he set the fastest lap at 24.5 last time round, so very, very quick lap indeed. The timer has run out. As I say, this is the final lap of the first sprint race here this evening. And it is Gero who leads from Ben in second, Sean in third, McKindy is being chased here by Alan Kay. McKindy getting very sideways out of Old Hill Corner as he head through Dentons and down the hill towards Cascades for the final time. Jazz is in 6th, Laranix in 7th, and Plaster have got caught up in the first lap. Melee in 8th. McKindy just getting a weavy across the road. Alan Kay is going to fancy his chances. McKindy goes defensive, was very, very defensive. Alan's going to try and fancy his chances of going round. McKindy able to get on the power very quickly indeed. But back up to the front very quickly. The camera will catch him. There he is coming through Druid's Corner to take the checkered flag. Gero Kaleja takes the victory in round number 1 in the sprint race. He crosses the line in first place. But keep an eye out for Ben in round number 2. He takes second and the fastest lap of the race as well, so good result there for him. Sean's going to come through and take over third place. He's just coming up the last part now. We're going to have to jump back here as Alan Kay is still chasing down McKindy coming into the final few corners, but it looks like McKindy-U's got it held at the moment. Here comes Sean to cross the line and complete the podium for the first race of this evening. Sure he'll be pretty happy with third place to start off his season campaign. And here they come through through Druid's Corner, and it's going to be too little too late for Alan Kay in this one. As McKindy holds on for 4th place, Alan will take 5th place on the road. Jazza, as the camera kicks up at the wrong time, he's going to come through and take 6th place. I'll be kind of annoyed he was up in 2nd at one point as well, so I'm sure he won't be too chuffed at that. As Laranix drifting his way through the last corner, he's in 7th. You've seen Plaster there in the background. He is going to finish a lap down in 8th place, but we know he has got some really good really good pace going on. But that is the end of race number 1. And Matthew, no, I am not saying that registration plate. Nice try. I'm stupid. I'm not that stupid. There you go, the end of race number 1, and it is Gero who takes the race victory from Ben in 2nd, Sean in 3rd, McKindy in 4th, and it's jumped away pretty quickly. I'm glad I got the screenshot there very quick. But yeah, very good race indeed. McKindy in 4th, Alan Kay took 5th place. It was Jazza 6th, Laranix in 7th, and Plaster rounding out the top 10. So now our lobby host to Alan Kay will change it around to a 15-minute qualifying session and a 35-minute race. Now in the 35-minute race there is the need to make a pit stop. Now there's no rule that says you have to change tyres though. So then it comes down to, do you chance it or do you keep going? This is a very, very interesting one. It'll be interesting to see what can be done. And we're just waiting on, there we go, so just needs to put the qualifying session in and we'll be good to go. Looks like we've lost Plaster out of the session. We'll need to give him a wee invite back in a moment. But that was race number 1, and a pretty good race actually. Obviously lost a couple of cars early on, which was a shame to see, but everyone getting used to the car, and obviously the feature race will give them much more time to get used to these new machines that they're getting used to, because a lot of these guys of course race the F1 game. They don't normally race this. This is the first time Project Cars 2 or any other game apart from an F1 game has been seen on TTTV, so completely new to everybody. Thankfully not for me. I've raced this game far too many times. I remember when it actually got announced, and the excitement for me was ridiculous. But we're just waiting on the lobby being set. There's qualifying session. And hopefully we can get Plaster back into the session, that would be pretty good as well. So 15-minute qualifying, I'll be able to take you on a proper lap off the Oulton Park Island circuit in a moment, and I'll be able to go through a wee bit more of the foibles of the track as well, including how the Knickerbrook chicane and corner came to get its name. I'll go through that in a wee minute, because if you know me from TTL, you'll know I love a story. You'll know I love a little bit of something different. Just going to quickly send Plaster a little bit of a re-invite to help him out, if I can just find him. There he is. Hopefully we can get him back into the lobby. So don't worry about the screen. It's coming back. There we go. So race number 2 coming up. 15-minute qualifying session, 35 race. Now it says mandatory pit stop no on the screen. That's because you can't force it on a timed race. The drivers have been well informed that they have to make at least one pit stop in the race, and if they don't, they'll be disqualified. Simple as that. And obviously getting to the end of the race is important as well. There's points for every finishing position, but to get points you need to finish the race. If you're not finishing, you score nil points. So you need to get to the end. So having damage, you can get back to the pits, even if you're a lap or 2 down, you still finish the race, you're still going to pick up points. That's exactly what we've seen Plaster do during that race there, where he got to the end despite having the issues early on, where he lost a good chunk of his front wing, got damaged very early doors. So it's definitely important to get to the end of the race. That's definitely what you need to be doing. We're just waiting on Plaster getting back to the lobby, and then we will be getting underway. I think this is a good moment than ever for me to just take a quick moment to catch my breath before the next round. 2 minutes, I'll be back in a second. And there is Plaster back into the lobby, so we are good to go one more time. Just wait on Alan Kay, who runs the lobby, to start it up, and we'll have a 15-minute qualifying session to set the grid. So that's how it works here by this league. First race is a sprint race, no qualifying, completely randomised grid. The game picks it for us. If the game would allow, I would do it on reverse championship order, but the game doesn't give us that option, unfortunately. So it's randomised race, but that's why it's only 15 minutes. Second race being the feature race, we have this qualifying session, so it's done in qualification order, and also the longer race is worth more points as well. So you do get more points for doing better in the feature race than you would do in the sprint. In fact, what I'll do just now, because I've got it somewhere in my phone, somewhere, is I'll actually give you the point standings so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Because I've got them here somewhere. Where are they? There we go. So in the sprint race, if you win the race, you get 25 points. So Jero takes 25 points for the race victory, Ben takes 22 for second, Sean 20 points for third, McKinder you take 18 for fourth, Alan Kay will take 16 for fifth place, Laranix takes 13 for seventh, and Plaster will take 12 for 8th place. It says points all the way down to 16th place. Bonus point for the fastest lap in each race, and there'll also be a bonus point on offer for whoever puts it onto pole position here. In the feature race, it is 35 points for the race victory, 30 for second, 27 for third, 24 for fourth, 20 for fifth, 18 for sixth, 16 for 7th, 14 for 8th, 12 points for 9th, 11 points for 10th, 10 for 11th, and then 9, 8, 7, 6, 5 all the way down. So that is how the points work in this league. Now we've now got cars out a pit lane, and there is your race 1 victor. Zero on the track in that number 22 blue and white machine. He's out on pit lane at the moment. That is Maze now finally getting onto the track. Having had issues with race 1 with his wheel disconnecting. You can see he is in the number 63 machine, that black, grey and blue car. That's 43 machine, sorry, the number's wrong. Jazza coming through is, there he is, in the white and red car, number 18 on the front. In the pits is Sean and Plaster. Ben coming through there, he's got the 65 red and white machine, AQI. Into you, and the number 10 car, blue, grey and a bit of red on it as well. It's getting a bit wide through cascades there. Maximus, got a very similar car livery as well, but he's in the number 9 machine. You'll notice the difference on the wing mirrors, one black, one red. Laranix, number 59, the blue, pink and black machine, and Alan Case in the pits. And Jaros came straight back into pit lane and decided just to do a little bit of an out lap. So what we're going to do, we're going to jump on board. Well, maybe not now. Commentator's curse there for Jazza as he jumped on board to do a fast lap wheel, and he went off the road. That's not good. So we're going to jump on board quickly with Ben to go through turn number 1 to Old Hill corner. Getting a bit sideways, a bit wide. It's a very, very tricky corner. And you come through turn number 2, it's flat out, and then down the hill into turn number 3, Cascades. Very easy for the car to drift wide. You've got to be very careful. It's downhill all the way. And then up onto the power and heading up through Lakeside towards the Lakeside hairpin. Hard on the brakes. Down the gears we go. Put the speedo up and see what's going on as well. Down, first gear goes bit, and then up through the gears one more time, over the rise of Hilltop, and heading down towards Hislops and the Knickerbrook chicane, as it is known as more often. Down to third gear, running a bit wide on the entry there, but collects it up for the second part. Through Knickerbrook corner itself, got to be very careful, it does catch you with a bit of camber. Up over the hill, through Clay Hill, through Watertown, which is turn number 9 just here, quick left-hander. And then we're into Druids, turn number 10. Very quick double apex corner. You easily get sideways as Ben does there. And then coming over the crest under Warwick Bridge and up towards Lodge corner. Very tricky braking point here. And very tricky corner. It drops down, then it pulls back up again. You be very careful on the throttle. Over Deers Lake, the final corner under the bridge and across the line. That is a lap of Oulton Park. And Ben puts himself in pole position for now, with a 1 minute 25.9, but I do expect to see that come down. Gero's just lining himself up for a quick lap. As you can see, Maximus has got himself a 1-place grid penalty already for a pit lane violation, and that's one of those penalties that you cannot do anything about, as Gero is not going to, he's got his time invalidated already on this lap, so it's not going to be any good for him. Laranix has gone into second as Moose goes through, he's in third place. 30.3 and a 32.8 respectively from those two. Gero will be the one to keep an eye on when he's not invalidating a lap time. As Jazza comes up to Lakeside hairpin. Oh, he's got very late on the brakes there, nearly into the wall, stops himself from doing so, and just decides to drop back into pit lane instead. Sean's still in pit lane at the moment. It's Plaster coming down the hill. He's now decided to turn some of the assists on to give himself a helping hand out. Very wide though on that downhill braking point into the chicane. Maximus there, one that got caught up in the first race, dropped him out. He's now up to 5th place, but that's not a representative lap time because it does not take 2 minutes 21 to do this race. I'm sure he's just winding up for another go. Alan Case just coming out of pit lane just now, as is Sean, so we're going to have all 10 drivers on track in a minute. Ben's currently on a 1:24.3. Camera catches up to him going through Denton's and down through Cascade, so he's looking very good at the moment in the EQI machine. Someone taking out the braking signs up ahead. That's a rear wing actually. Plaster stopped on track there for a moment. Kind of you. Mays, no wait, there it is, it's Plaster I believe. It is indeed off the track, Alan Kay there. Someone's lost a rear wing somewhere. I think it might be Gero. He's back in pit lane. No, it's not, it's Maximus. Maximus has no rear wing. So he's had an incident somewhere. And he's lost his rear wing. And instead of doing the thing that most people would do, which is put up pit lane in case he impedes anyone, he's actually trying to go around the track, which is fair enough, because in a real race that's exactly what you'd have to do. And he's hitting the wall there though, so he'll need to be careful, because he could take himself right out of the session. And he is not too careful at all. Ryan Leeds McKindy Hughes got himself into the 25.9s. Laranix in third position. Mays is in fourth, having just left pit lane, I do believe. That is Jazza coming out of pit lane. Maximus is back to pit lane now, finally. So we'll see him back out before the end of the session. Here comes Gero. Race 1 winner. Through Knickerbook chicane. So, how did that come about being called Knickerbook? Well, he got his name because at one point there was a demolition crew who were taking out old tree stumps, because you can see it's, you know, old sort of parkland. And they were taking the tree stumps out with dynamite, as you do. So, man's thing to do, of course. What they didn't realise was that in the nearby area was a young couple who were, well, shall we say courting. Probably the old-fashioned word to use. And they got a bit scared and they ran off, and then the chaps from the demolition team decided to go and check what was going on. They found an old pair of ladies' underwear, or knickers, behind, hence how it got its name. Now, it never used to just be a chicane, and you can obviously see where they go through the right-hander before going up the hill. It used to just be that corner. It was a very, very quick corner. It was what a lot of drivers call a real driver's corner in previous years, but unfortunately major accidents and a few fatalities, including one to Paul Warwick, who was the younger brother of F1 driver Derek Warwick, in 1991 during an F3000 British Championship race, seeing the chicane introduced. That is why the bridge after Druids Corner is called Warwick Bridge as well. It's named after Paul Warwick, who lost his life at the track. And the unfortunate thing for Paul is, you know, away from also losing his life, but in terms of the championship he was racing in at that point, he had won. He had been dominating the season. He had won all 5 races of the day. He'd been in pole position for 5 of them. He'd been fastest lap in 4 of them. So it was, you know, he was definitely showing some really, really good pace. And unfortunately, he ended up losing his life doing what he loved, and losing that bridge just back there after the man himself. So a little bit of a sombre moment there for the stream as we watch Gero coming across the line. This is hopefully going to be more representative. There we go, it's much more representative from the Spaniard. A 24.6, still 3 times down on Ben though. He's put his car into pit lane. It kind of used looking decent, only half a second down in 3rd position. It's Laranix in 4th, 1.4 down. We've got Alan Kay in 5th. Mays in 6th place. Alan Kay's pushing on with no assists during this. Plaster's in the pits in 7th. Sean out at track at the moment in 8th. We'll see if he can improve on a 1 minute 35.4. I'm expecting him to do just that in a moment's time as well as he comes up towards Druids. Maximus is in 9th, finally back out on track with a rear wing attached. And Jazza coming across the line, not set a time yet, he does now, and he goes up into 5th place, so decent lap time there from Jazza there, as he, oh, that car's very twitchy for him going through Old Hill Corner. Maximus going through, there is Sean about across the line. Does he improve in his 9th position, or was this an outlap? That was an improvement, but it's still only 9th position, so we're having a few issues here for 3rd place in race number 1. Carrying on for the moment as well to see if he can improve on his time. Jaro is still out on track at the moment. Here he goes across the, can he improve on his 24.6? He does indeed. That 24.128 puts himself just shy of 2 seconds clear of Ben in 2nd place. I'm expecting we're probably going to see Ben coming out of pit lane before long. He's got 4 minutes left in the session, and you want at least to have a lap to get your tyres up to temperature as well. As McKindy is currently still in third place, coming through Cascades. At the bottom of the screen you see Laranix coming out of pit lane. There he is in the 59 car, through Cascades himself. Jazza still, that car is just really twitchy for Jazza there. He's coming up towards Druids, keep an eye on this end of the lap. Chucks it in, drops it down to second at the last moment, runs wide onto the AstroTurf. You can get an invalidation doing that, but it looks like he might have got away with it. Is it an improvement on his 28.5? It is, to a 28.0. He still stays in 5th place for the moment as Alan Kay crosses the line. He goes up to 5th place in a 27.5, so good lap there from him. Hello Jin, thanks very much for joining us. Well, good evening to you as well. Lovely to have you along for the first ever Project Cars event and league on TTTV. And if you are watching, you've got Project Cars 2 and a PlayStation 4 and you're free on Saturday nights. There's still a couple of places up for grabs for next week. And it'd be lovely to have you guys along for that as well if you wish to do so, because I would love to see this get to a full 16 car grid. That is my aim and goal, is to get it to 16 cars every week. That's what I really want. Next week we've got Snetterton, the Snetterton 200 circuit, the shorter version, and then we go to the Silverstone International for round 3. Round 4 is Hockenheim GP and Zolder is round 5, before we head to the tight and twisty nature and the short track nature of my home circuit, which is Knockhill up in Scotland. Round 7 is Donington National, and we finish on Brands Hatch GP circuit for round number 8. So it's 8 rounds all the way through, and that is the calendar that we have for Project Cars 2's Formula Series. So if you are interested, give me a shout. 2 races a night as well. Much good racing action going on. Jazza's managed to take 5th place back off of Alan Kay. Maximus picks up another good penalty for pit lane violations down in 10th. In fact, that was one from earlier on possibly. You can see McKinley's lap time validations going absolutely across the board. Where is McKinley in 3rd place at the moment? Is he off the track somewhere? Yep, he's gone a bit wide through Druids. What do you want to be doing? Managed to collect it all together. That is McKinney into pit lane. I believe that's Ben across the line, so he's finally out on the track here. We have a minute, just over a minute and a half to go in the qualifying session, so we've got the second race coming up very shortly. This is the qualifying for race number 2, feature race, and a pit stop needs to be made as well during the race. Doesn't matter when, except it can't be on the final lap. You need to do it before the final lap. Because it's a timed race, you need to know when the final lap's going to be, so you're always better to do it later. Sooner rather than later, but Ben and Gero are lining up for the possibility of having an absolute ding-dong battle in this race. Separated by a tenth of a second, McKindy not too far back, 7/10 down. It is all about consistency in these cars, as I keep saying here. Ben just drifting it through Lickerbrook chicane. Up through Clay Hill towards the water tower and Druids. Can he steal back provisional pole position here? 45 seconds left in the session. And the battle for pole is between this man Ben and this man Gero. He's just crossed the line to start another lap, so he's going to get at least one more lap in. Ben should be able to get one in as well, as the camera struggles to focus on our target. Here comes the 65 car. Up towards the line across Deers Leap. Does he improve in any way? He does not by the looks of it, because I've got something jumping across the screen so I can't see. No, he does not. So here's the final laps, drifting it through Old Hill Corner towards Dentons and Cascades for the final time. We're going to jump to Gero and try and work our way through everybody just now. So McKindy is about to complete a lap. The session is now over. So the checkered flag is out. McKindy 3rd place at the moment, a 24.8. Can he make any improvement to solidify that place, or can he jump up any further in the field? He crosses the line. He's unable to improve, so that's not going to work for him. Laranix is just coming through Cascades at the moment. Sean's coming down to the water side, catching up to Maximus. So we jump to Gero's jumped into pit lane. Ben's drifting, he's gone well off the track there, halfway towards Cheshire. He was pretty much in Chester itself there. I mean, Cheshire County, he was in Chester City. So he's well off and dropped into pit lane, so that means Gero's in pole position. Kinda Hughes finished his lap. Laranix is still on one. Sean's getting stuck behind Maximus a bit here. Maximus is on a lap as well. Here comes Maze. Finally out on track after issues with wheel in race number 1. Can he improve on 8th place as he crosses the line? And he does not, so he's not able to improve there. Maximus running wide through Druid's corner onto the grass there, so that's going to ruin his time. He's going to be starting from the back. He's got a grid penalty. Keep an eye on Sean. Comes through the final corner. Oh, the car just wants to snap out there, the 42 car. Crosses the line. Is it any improvement on 7th place? It's an improvement, but it still stays in 7th, so no place improvement. Here comes Laranix across the line. Getting a little bit air draft there, but he's unable to improve, and that is the end of the qualifying session. That means that Gero, having won race 1, takes pole position for race number 2, and he'll gain the bonus point for that as well. But you see the Irishman Ben just behind in 2nd place. Kinda You, the Slovakian, in 3rd, Laranix in 4th, Jazza 5th, Alan in 6th, Sean in 7th, Maze in 8th, Maximus will be 9th, Plaster in 10th place, but Maximus will start last due to a grid penalty for a pit lane violation during the first race. Now, it looks like we've actually already lost Maximus, who's probably hit the wrong button to continue the lobby, but it actually takes you out the lobby. You need to let the lobby host do that. I've done that many a time as well, so just waiting on the cars syncing up. Just keep an eye on the clock at the top. It's counting down at the moment, but it'll reset itself once everyone is ready. And we'll soon be go for the 2nd round of the evening. Pit stops will be the interesting part. It'll be very interesting to see what goes on in the pit stops. When people decide to take the pit stops as well is going to be the interesting part. So it's waiting on ready ups from everybody. Not that they've got much that they can change because it's default setups, so not much that can go on, but they'll be setting their pit strategies to make sure that they are comfortable with what they want to do. So give the drivers a wee moment before we go to the grid for the final race of the evening. 35 minutes in front of us. It's Gero in pole position, having won race 1. 2nd place is Ben, who took 2nd in race 1 as well. Is looking very quick, was catching Gero at the end of race number 1, so that could be a fantastic battle between they two. You is in 3rd position. Laranix in 4th, Jazz at 5th. Then it is Alan K 6th, Sean 7th, Maze in 8th, and Plaster at 9th. The lights are on, and we're underway for the 2nd time tonight. You've got an absolute belter off a start there. Already up into 2nd place and challenging Gero going into turn number 1, and he's gone round the outside and into the lead of the race. He's run a bit wide there, but a brilliant start from You, and he takes the lead off of the race with Gero 2nd, Ben's in 3rd, that's Jazza up at the 4th, getting battles there with Laranix in 5th. 6th place is Sean dropping into 6th place there. Alan K having a fight there with Plaster in the background in 7th and 8th, and Mace has dropped to the back of the field in 9th. A brilliant start from You, but Gero and Jazza are now going to try and go through up the inside, but You gone. Where is Gero? Gero has dropped well downfield. Where is he? There he is. He's lost his wheel. Gero is out of the race unless he can get it back to pit lane. He's going to try his best, but that's going to ruin the race. If he can get it back, he can get it repaired in this game. He needs to try his best, but horrible luck for the race 1 victor. That's going to give everyone else a chance to gain some time. You's already 1.5 seconds clear of Ben in 2nd. The rest of the battle is between Laranix in 3rd place, catching up to Ben, and then behind we've got Sean now up into 4th place, Plaster in 5th, Alan K off in the gravel at Druid, so he drops down to 7th. That'll take Maze up into 6th. Jazza went off as well, and Gero limping round, sparks are flying. 3 wheels on his wagon, and that's going to be at least his pit stop out of the way for him, so you never know, he can still make his way back through the field later on in the race, but it'll take an awful lot to do it. Here is the battle for 2nd place. Ben's got white coming out Old Hill corner. Lanix is going to have the chance. down the hill through Denton's into Cascades, and he's got the move done. A lovely little move there from Larynx there up in the second, but Ben's got a great run out of Cascades going through up to the lakeside. Hairpin here, can he fancy his chances up the inside? Larynx catching the grass on the outside there into the braking zone, but keeps it together, and that is a move for second place. Now Ben's got to take stock because Sean is right behind, looking a lot quicker on race pace than he did do in the qualifying section. He's trying to make his way up the order as well, coming into the Knickerbook chicane here for the second time in this race. 35 minutes ahead of us. It's McKinley leading from Larynx in second, Ben's in third, with Sean looking at in fourth. Mays in fifth place, keeping it steady. He'll just be happy to be racing, considering he had a wheel disconnect in the first race, meaning he couldn't get by. Plaster in sixth, Alan Kane seventh, Jazza down in eighth, and there is Gero in the pits getting the repairs done. That's going to be a pretty lengthy pit stop for the Spaniard, and he'll be waiting for that to be finished, but at least it means that if he carries on, he's got a chance of still gaining some points. That is Ben. It's just been passed there by Sean, so Ben's lost his front wing actually, so more carnage going on, and Ben loses his wing. He needs to be careful coming out the pit lane here. Gets it slowed down. You can see Gero's still there in pit lane, now a lap down. But that's going to be the pit stop phase out of the way for Ben as well. You can see his crew coming into pit lane there, and he gets slowed down. Still waiting on Gero leaving pit lane at the moment. So we've got 2 cars in pit lane already. Tyres are done, just waiting on the repairs being finished. McKindy, you though, is looking pretty comfortable up at the front of the pack, 5 seconds clear at the top of the field. Looking pretty decent at the moment. Sean's moved up to second, Larynx has dropped down to third, so we've missed that one out on track. I'm guessing that Lyronix, I'll get his name right one day, must have made a mistake because it didn't come up with a wee icon at the side to say they were close by, so that's probably been a mistake there from Lyronix, and he's dropped down to third, puts Sean up into second place. There is Gero back on track, and that is him trying to unlap himself on Mr. Alan Kay. Is who he's trying to unlap. Alan goes wide. He probably knows that Gero's a bit quicker at this point. He keeps out of the way. There is Ben finally getting underway after those repairs. You can see that is McKindy, I believe, coming through to lap Ben. So damage means the pit stop phase has cost a lot. Maximus, if you're watching, I've seen your message, my friend. Don't worry about it, we all make that mistake. I've done it many a time myself. Lost Maximus from the race. He hit the return to lobby rather than letting the lobby host change over. We've all done it. Don't worry, it's all a start. You've not ruined anything, my friend. We look forward to seeing you back on the track next week, hopefully with much better luck as well. Maximus is the one driver so far out of this race. There is Sean trying to get his way back. That's Ben actually himself, in fact, having just came out of pit lane. I need to be careful. Sean can take it, he doesn't need to force the issue here really if he's making the move. Obviously Ben has to allow him through, but at the same time if he feels he's quicker, he'll be wanting to get past and make some headway through the order. Sean still needs to pit though. Ben now has pitted, so he's in 8th. His target is Jazza, who's in 7th place. Oh, contact there going through Druids. That's put Ben off the track. That can happen through Druids. Ben is looking much quicker. It's misjudged that one there by the looks of it. Hit the back of the car in front. Hopefully no more damage for him. That would be good. When do I think would be the best time to pit? Oh, goodness. It's a tricky one there, Jim, to think about, because it all depends on how your race is going. I mean, if you're McKindy at the moment, sitting up the front, pulling clear, 9 seconds to the good, you're in a good rhythm, you probably want to stay out for a bit now and just run the rhythm, don't break the consistency at the moment. Obviously Ben and Gero have been forced into it due to damage. For anyone else though, from Sean all the way down to Jazza here in 7th, it's a tricky one to guess when is the best time to pit really. It all depends on how you feel. Obviously tyre wear is on, so you know, if you feel that your tyres are going to go off, then obviously you're going to want to pit later on so you can have fresher rubber for the end of the race. So it all depends what's going on, but if I'm kind of you at the moment, now cut to 12 seconds clear of Sean. Larynx still in third, but if I'm kind of you, I'm going to keep it. I stay out on track at the moment. I keep going at the moment, keeping the rhythm, keep the consistency going, keep building the gap. And then maybe about halfway through, maybe when we get to about 15 minutes to go or something like that, maybe even 10 minutes to go if the tyres hold up, pit then. You don't want to leave it too late though, because if you do end up with a lengthy pit stop with any damage, you could end up dropping yourself down the field without having the time to catch up. So it's a tricky one, but at the moment I would be keeping going, and McKindy is doing just that as he comes down through Cascades. He's got nearly 13 seconds over Sean, who's just gone across the line and coming through Old Hill Corner at the moment. And there is Lyronix has decided to pit. So he is into pit lane. You see the car being repaired. And he's underway. Or is he? Oh, he's waiting. He must have some damage to be repaired on the car. So he's not underway just yet. Lengthy pit stop, and that's the problem as well. If you do end up with some damage, you could end up with a lengthy pit stop. Plaster has came into pit lane as well. Lyronix is still in the pits. You can see him up ahead there. And he's just left pit lane. And Plaster able to get moving before his pit stop is even finished. He's stuck in neutral there though, so I don't know if he's actually moving yet. But Lyronix has left pit lane, so they have now made their pit stop. Alan Kay, I believe, has might be in the pits. Oh no, don't do that. Gee whiz, wrong buttons. This ain't F1. As Plaster leaves pit lane. So 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th have all made at least one pit stop now. It's Jazza, Alan Kay, Mays in third, Sean in second, and McKindy have still to make a pit stop. You can see the fastest lap of the race at the moment is Gero, sorry, and a 1:24.8. Remember, there is a bonus point up for grabs for the fastest lap. Mays moves into second because Sean is now into pit lane and underway already. Pretty quick pit stop there for him. That could play very good for him later on in the race. Coming through the pit stop out of pit lane just now. He's just been passed on track by Gero. But Gero is a lap down, so that's him gaining the laps back now. So he's made his way through to being a lap over Sean. Now Sean back out of pit lane. Now what he's done here is he's made that mandatory stop where you have to come in and stop in your garage. He's also had no damage, and he also feels the tyres are going to last long enough for him. And he's just stopped, done the mandatory stop, and gone underway again. That is well within the rules of the series. If you feel the tyres can last, that it's your prerogative to do so. As long as you've came in, made a pit stop, stopped it fully at your station at your garage, and gone underway again, that is fine. You don't have to make a service. You don't have to swap tyres. You don't have to take fuel if you don't want to. It is all up to you. Some drivers will run the late ones though for the stops, because in case of any damage, they want to make sure that it's the only time they make pit lane during the race. Gero is catching up to the back of Ben. Ben's actually into pit lane again, so this is a second stop now for Ben. I'm guessing he must have damaged his car. That to be the case. That's going to drop him to the back of the field, and it's not been a great race for the first two in race number one. Gero's a lap down at the moment in 8th place, and Ben in the pit lane just getting back underway. It's the second stop for him. He's now down in 9th place and last. You can see Gero coming through Cascades and up through Lakeside. 8th at the moment. He's got about 20 seconds to catch Plaster, who's his next target. Plaster we've seen in race number one having a huge cartwheel moment right here, going up Clay Hill and into the water tower. It cost him a lot of time, but he did finish the race, and that's where you gain the points obviously. That's going to be good for him later on in the series. Lyronix is pitted. He's now in 6th place. Jazza still to come out of the pits, I do believe. Alan Kay in 4th place, having a bit of a scrap here with Jazza. So these two are pretty close together. That's Ben in the background. A lap down on these two. Vanex there, so we'll get back here. He's just coming over the crest as well. He's catching up to this part. That is Jazza, in fact, so that's Ben trying to get his lap back off of Alan Kay. And Alan Kay's gone wide there. That's allowed Ben through. Ben is much quicker at this point, even though he has a lap down. It's allowed Jazza to catch right up to the back of Alan Kay to come into Druids here. Again, oh, he's got it sideways. He's on the grass, he's doing a bit of lawn mowing. He's got it back on the track, though, well saved, but that's going to allow Lyronix a chance to catch on to the back here. It's the 59, fancy his chances of making another place up and going into 5th place. For me at the moment, though, this man Sean, he's made his pit stop, 3rd place. If he can keep this on the track, he's looking pretty good at the moment. Should at least be able to take 2nd, possibly still challenge for the win before the end of this race. You never know. It's going to be an interesting one come the end of the race. Jazz has got Lyronix right behind him. These two are pretty close as they come into Cascades. Closest battle on track just now. Up to the lakeside hairpin. That's Alan Kay just ahead, and he taking a bit of a wider line through the hairpin. This is 4th, 5th and 6th place on the track just now. Coming over the top of Hilltop and down towards Hislop's and Knickerbrook chicane. Alan's missed the apex in the first part there. Jazz has just got to be careful coming through Knickerbrook corner. Looks to have more speed at the moment. The Rockmat car coming up through Clay Hill is really gaining, but he just needs to be careful. It's not really a passing opportunity into Druids. Back away just a little bit and hold off, but he doesn't want to hold off too much because Lyronix is right behind there as well. That is where the battling is at the moment. Two of these drivers have not pitted yet, Alan Kay and Jazza. Lyronix has his own main mandatory in this race for 20 minutes to go. That means we've got 10 laps in the books, 15 minutes gone, 10 still to go. You looking pretty out in front. He's just coming into Druids as the camper doesn't want to pan properly. He's got 14 seconds over May's 2nd with Sean in 3rd. Stop. It's the back. Next 4th, 5th. The event can make the move. Stop. Second there, and Lyronix makes the move, and that is through, but look at this Jazza much quicker through Knickerbrook corner, coming up Clay Hill, right in the slipstream here, 200 horsepower, 400 horsepower, 200 horsepower, right. Oh, he's got wide, he's going to get the move done there, very nicely done round the outside. Lyronix a little bit tentative going through Druids. Jazza with it round the outside, has to use the AstroTurf then a little bit. Made the move sticks, but Lyronix now fancies his chances. They're going back through, coming up before Old Hill corner. Side by side, very tricky corner this to go side by side, don't need to be very careful. Jazza gives it a wide berth, you can see them both having a bit of a tail swapper there as well. And Lyronix takes the place back into 5th place before Denton's and Cascades. Ran wide, that's going to allow Jazz up the inside. Oh, Lyronix is round. I wonder if there was maybe contact there between the two of them. It's hard to tell from the camera angle, it's a little bit lagging as well. Jazza is back through into 5th, Lyronix a full 360. He's back under way, no damage to the car on the 59 machine, so we're glad of that. And Jazza now can concentrate at the back of Alan Kay, who's gone completely straight onto the chicane, tries to come back onto the track, and it puts Jazza into 4th, a mistake there from the Irishman. That has allowed Jazza to gain to 4th place now. Stake into the chicane, locked up, straight onto the grass, lucky not to get any damage with that tyre barrier on the inside. He has managed to get through. Ben has just got back past Blaster, who has got damage again to the front wing. And that car's got suspension damage. You can tell it's crabbing slightly as he's trying his best to get it turned. So he's heading for pit lane then. He's already made his stop as well, so this is a second stop for him. Not what he would have wanted. Jazza's in the wall! Oh no, Jazza's put it in the wall. It's going to cost him 4th and 5th place. And surely we'll see him come for pit lane now. Oh, he's carried on, so must he avoided damage then, surely. On that one, you can see Plasterer, but that's dropped him down the order. And Kinda You's gone round there at Druid. Oh gosh, to get in the corner, the Vlodge corner. So that's cost him around about 7 seconds as well, but he's got 30 odd in the bag. He's managed to get back underway. It just shows you. Easy make mistake. Sean's missing his rear wing. Sean is missing his rear wing on the back of that number 42 machine. What has happened to Sean? He was looking comfortable in 2nd place. He'd already made his pit stop. He was in 3rd place, sorry, looking comfortable having made his stop. And he's lost his rear wing. I don't know if that's due to someone driving into him, or if he's just lost it and rear-ended the barrier, but he's got no rear wing on that car. Drama going on. Jazza spins and drops 2 places. Kinda You spins and manages to keep going. Now we've got Sean minus his rear wing. It's all going on as Maze makes his mandatory pit stop now. Wait, 16.5 minutes left to go. What is going on? Absolutely incredible. Plaster's back out on track. Ben's minus his front wing as well now, so it's a 3rd pit stop for Mr. Ben, feeling not good at all. He'll not be chuffed at that one. As Alan Key goes through, but Lyronic's not far behind him. Maze comes out of pit lane now, he's in 4th place. That'll become a net 3rd if he keeps going, because Alan Key's still to pit, I do believe. Lyronix has pitted, so Kinda You is now a case of when does the race leader come in for that mandatory pit stop. He got a fantastic start, jumped into the lead from 3rd place, and he's stayed there ever since. Lyronix up to the grass there, coming up to the fountain hairpin. And keep going very defensive. Kinda You, only a minute clear of everybody at the moment, but he's got to make his pit stop still. That brilliant move at the start around the outside into the Old Hill corner, and he's drove away up front. Zero on his recovery drive. He had 3 wheels on his wagon at one point. Back up into 6th place. Maze is right behind Jazza, who's managed to sneak by him as well as he was coming out of pit lane. So does Maze. That's getting by as well, making up the 4th. Lyronix and Alan Kay. Lyronix actually got through and passed as well. So he's done that from Fountain down to Knickerbrook. I imagine Maze is trying to keep... Oh, he's on the grass. It segues through. No, they're very easy to do. See all the undulations and camber on this track. Very easy to make a mistake. That is Kinda You. 1 minute clear of Lyronix at the moment, but the race leader has not made his mandatory pit stop. I think he's not doing it this lap either, so I hope he's remembered, because if he does not make his stop, then it will be a disqualification from the race. Hopefully he knows. They read the rules. Lyronix through. There's Alan Kay. Alan Kay's still to pit as well, I do believe, at the moment. Jazz has managed to pull away by 4 seconds from Maze. That's 4th. And there's 5th. Zero now up into 6th place. Race 1 victor and pole sitter here. Going round, making the recovery though from being 3 wheels on the car. And once Kinda You pits, he'll only be 27 seconds off the lead with 13 to go, 13 minutes to go. He's got some speed, because if you look, he's doing a 24.4, Lyronix is on a 28. So that's 4 seconds a lap. So that is possible. But it's when does this man come in for his pit stop? When does Kinda You, Kinda for you, I'm just going to call it Kinda, a little easier. When does he pit? Number 10 car, drifting out of Lodge Corner. He's in for another lap, so he goes to start lap 16 of the race. Need to make the pit stop before he starts the final lap. Big drama in this race yet. Hopefully he remembers the rulebook. Ironics, we're hoping he doesn't, because that would propel him up into first place if that was to happen. It'll be interesting to see. We've got 12 and a bit minutes left in this race. It's been a very interesting first race of the season here for his brand new league. Oh, Lyronix sideways through Druids there. That's going to cost him time. You've got to watch, because here comes Alan Kay onto the scene. He's going to see that slow moving car. Jazz is not far behind either. Kinda you coming up to the final corner. Decides to make his pit stop. Oh, he's going on for another lap, so he's leaving it very late in the race. I believe everybody except for maybe Alan Kay has made the pit stops. Look on the time on screen. See the fastest lap of the race is set by Gero on a 1:24.356. Kinda used but a 1 second penalty to add his time at the end of the race as well. You can see that on the right hand side of the screen. And that is Ben making his way past Alan Kay. In fact, no, that's Jazza, sorry, Jazza up the inside, my apologies. Into the Knickerbrick chicane, and Jazza has made his way up into third place onto the final step of the podium. The move done on Alan Kay. Mays is going to try and catch up to the Irishman now. Gero is closing in as well. He's still setting laps in the 25s. No one is getting close to the Spaniards' lap times at the moment. Kinda for you leads the race. He has done since the very beginning, getting the jump at the start as we come into the final 10 minutes of this feature race. He's still to make his mandatory pit stop. When does he do it? That is the question. Going on for another lap. Unless he's been into the pits and I never noticed. He's leaving this one very late in the day. This is a man to keep an eye on, a 25-0 last time back. Gero, Spaniard, 3 wheels on his wagon at one point, looked more like a Reliant Robin. Del Boy would have sold it. Managed to get 4 wheels back in that, and he's flying along now, making his time back up. Kinda for you. He's spent all season doing that, that's for sure. Alan Kay staying out of the way of the race leader, so the race leader's lapped everybody except third and second at the moment. Taking out so long, that's just how much a lead built up just now. There's Sean recovering himself. He's minus a rear wing at one point. You see Ben behind him, that's 7th and 8th, but Ben is a lap down on Sean. Ben's been in the pits at least 3 times to my noticed as well, so interesting. Oh, Spike, thanks for joining along with us towards the end of this one. It's Plaster. Runs a bit wide there. Kinda for you, coming out of Lodge Corner. And that's pit lane, so he's heading for pit lane, so he's finally came into the pits. Does he get slowed down in the nick of time? He does indeed. The game is much louder, I do agree with you on that one. So the race leader finally into pit lane for his mandatory stop. He's decided to leave it late in the day and he's underway already, so that's going to be very good for him. Lyronix is just coming up to the fountain hairpin at the moment, so that's worked out phenomenally well for Mick Kinda. He's going to come out with a huge lead still in this race, and that pretty much should mean, unless he makes a mistake, he will wrap up the race victory. It's phenomenal speed there. Need to make a note of that, Spike. Thanks very much for that. I'll check that one out afterwards. Not usually had that problem, to be honest. It'll be interesting to see. Here goes Gerald, old race 1 victor, pole sitter. Right behind Mays. This is for 5th place. Gerald making his recovery. Up through Old Hill, through the water tower, up towards Druids. Mays goes to the inside. Gerald's going to go and try around the outside. He's on the grass in the AstroTurf. Can he hold on? Yo, he's still off in the grass. He's managed to hold it together, but Mays holds up to 5th place for now. Spaniard is pretty much the quickest driver on the track. He's got a great run out of the final corner of Lodge over Deer's Leap. He's going to have the move done before Old Hill. Down the 3rd gear he goes. He's passed and up into 5th place, and considering he was last and nearly 2 laps down at the moment, you can see 4th place Alan Kay just up ahead as well. It's a great recovery drive from the Spaniard. He's really setting down a marker to be a potential championship protagonist through the rest of the season. His next target is the Irishman Alan Kay, who's only about a second and a half or so up the road from the Spaniard, so he'll be right in the back of him before long. There he is. There's Jazza, 3rd place. Ironics in 2nd. This man has been well out in front for the entirety of this race. Great start, and he's now made his stop and held the lead. So that is just going to be a pretty phenomenal race for him. Still needs to finalise through these last 6 minutes as Gero is right onto the back of Alan Kay already. He's within a second. You can see the red mark on Mick Kinda use tag. He's got a penalty. It's a 1 second time penalty he's got. But at the moment it's not going to make a difference. Here's the battle on track. Gero onto the nose cam. That is Alan Kay ahead, 4th place. The Irishman running a bit wide through turn 1. The Spaniard's got a fantastic run. He's going to have that move done easily before they get into Dentons and Cascades. That is another replacement. What has been, quite frankly, a fantastic recovery drive from Gero. Lap early in the race, we've seen him with 3 wheels on his car. Oh, he's gone straight on there. He's heading down. He's lost his wheel again. Unbelievable. The commentators curse from me. I was just saying about how well he'd done to recover up to 4th, and he outbrakes himself at the Lakeside hairpin, and this time it's the front left wheel that he's missing. Earlier on it was the front right, and that's the 2nd time in a race. Unbelievable stuff. He was looking so good as well. I don't think Alan will be too fussed about needing the taxi for the Apex Spike, not after that. The Spaniard. Oh, there's crash in the background as well. That's Sean and Ben. That's a front wing damage for Sean. That's minus a rear wing for Ben, he's retired out of the race as well. He's had enough. He was right down the field. Sean. He's disappeared into the sky. So he's retired out as well. Now they don't score points for that. That's not the cleverest thing. You don't get any points if you don't finish. That's why Gero's trying to get back to pit lane on 3 wheels. He knows if he finishes the race, he's going to get points. Just keeping it ticking as best he can. He's going to make it back to pit lane. Has made it for the 2nd time today. 3 wheels on the wagon. He's made it back to pit lane. He finishes the race. You can see the car smoking its way down pit lane. By getting to the end of the race, he will score. Sean and Ben, who have just dropped out and retired, it'll be no points. You have to complete the race to get points. That's the way it goes. So that's why you've got Plaster here. A good few laps down. I'll actually see at the moment. He's done 19 laps. He's on his 19 laps at the moment. Kinda for you is on 22, so he's 3 laps down at the moment. Probably the top 3 are on the lead lap. Alan Kay, Mays and Gero a lap down, although Gero's going to drop a good more few laps down as Plaster runs by. But unbelievable from the Spaniard. The second time tonight he's ended up with 3 wheels on that car. But by getting to the end of the race, he's going to score points, and that could make the difference in the championship battle. Sean and Ben, who just had that incident there in the background that we've seen at the Knickerbook chicane, they've dropped out the session altogether, and that is nil why. You have to finish. You do not finish, you do not score. Gero coming back out of pit lane, he's going to hold on to 6th place. His Plaster is a lap down on him. That'll reset itself in just a minute, but he's back out. Mays is catching up to Alan Kay. 2 minutes to go. Drama all the way through. Did not expect this. It just shows you single seaters, the cars are quite fragile. And they're very tricky to handle, but it makes them an absolute blast when you get it right. This man coming up to lap Mays and Alan Kay shortly. He's about to start what will become his final lap, because you can see the timer there ticking down to 1 minute and 16 seconds there. By the time that kinda for you gets round the next lap, the time will have expired. So this is the final lap of the race for the race leader. It's been lights to flag pretty much. He jumped the field at the start with a great start. Past the leader, Gero, pulls it up into turn 1 round the outside. A very brave move indeed. Here goes Mays to the outside, heading up towards Lakeside Hairpin. And Alan Kay, when we make the braking, it looks like Mays is later on the brakes. He's going to try and go the long way round. He has to pull it back in. Holds on to the lead for just now. Holds on to 4th place to Alan. Mays looks a bit racier at the moment. Looks like he's a bit quicker just now. Oh, he's to be careful there. He's spun. Has he held it? Yes, he's held on. He's got the race leader there. Maybe want to try and keep the race leader behind him so he can try and catch Alan. But the race leader has got much the better advantage. And squeezes on through. But kinda for you, as time expires through Druids for the last time. It has been a great start as he laps Alan Kay as well. He made an absolutely fantastic start. Took the lead from that. Oh, Mays is out of the race nearly in the last corner. Unbelievable. But kinda for you wins the race. Alan Kay's going to be in 4th. Mays reversing at the moment. Gero goes through, but he's a lap down, so Gero is going to finish in 6th place, and Mays is going to cross the line with just three wheels on that car. But he's going to take 5th place because he's finished. I guess if you're going to lose a wheel, you might as well lose it in the last corner. So he takes 5th place. That's Plaster coming through to finish 7th as Mays pulls to the side of the track. Just waiting now on the final podium positions, which is Lyronics in 2nd. It's looking pretty good at one point as well. Wee mistake cost him a bit of time though, but 2nd place is going to give him a good chunk of points for the championships. I'm sure they won't be too displeased at that. Comes up to the line, and that's 2nd place for him, so a good race there from Lyronics. And then Jazza coming through, take the 3rd place. That looked twitchy sometimes, but he's made it work, and he's taken the final step in the podium. And that is the end of the feature race. And it is a win for Kinda for you, with Lyronics in 2nd, Jazza 3rd, Alan Kay 4th, Mays 5th, Gero in 6th, Plaster 7th, and Ben is there in 8th, but he retired, so he will not score any points. Only the 7 finishers will gain points from that race. We will get championship standings posted up to the Twitter page, which is TT_PCars. Do go and follow it. If you want to join and be part of the action next week, do give us a shout on the channel, on the page, or even message myself, Andy81287, or TTG Alan K, or TTG Maze, and we'll point you in the right direction. All you need is a PS4, Project Cars 2. You don't even need to have a wheel. Just be available on Saturday evenings and be able to drive clean and safely, please. But that is it for the first night of action here on TTTV for Project Cars 2. Thank you to everyone who came along, joined in, got involved in the chat. Absolutely fantastic to see so many of you along during the race. We'll be back next week for round number 2, which is from Snetterton. Until then, my name is Andy, and until next time, take care of yourself, and I'll see you again soon. Ta-ra.